Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm with Mama's Geeky. So nice to chat with you guys again.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, well, I need to start off. I asked Christian this question in an interview we did a few weeks ago, and he
Uh-huh.
really liked it. So I got to know all of your answers so I can compile them. If you were a ghost and you could move one item in the school to mess with people, what would it be?
We're only allowed to move one item?
One item, yes.
Okay.
I would move a piece of chalk into the chalk eraser, and then when the teacher goes to erase, they draw on the chalkboard.
I would like hide the key to somewhere like
Like the principal's
important-
key?
Yeah, principal's key or
The school
vending
key.
machine key or something crazy that they're like, wait, I need this to work.
Yeah.
We're all kind of making their lives really difficult. Rainbow, let's see where you take this.
Oh, yeah, right. I would want to what would I want to do? I would want to move where the water fountain nozzle is, so then it always sprays somewhere
Oh my
different.
God.
There you go. The
That's
trifecta.
good.
That is good. That's good.
What did Christian say? Probably something.
That school will be so hectic if you guys were spirits in there. Well, we got to talk about the season 2 finale because I think that shocked me more than the season 1 finale. You guys no longer have Simon on Team Human, I guess. So,
Yeah.
how does it feel to kind of go into season 3 with that separation?
I feel very, I feel naked and afraid. I mean, he was my rock, and I feel lost.
It's there's definitely something missing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Going on to set and him not being there, and then we would pass each other in the corridor and be like, whoa.
And we would
Hi.
wave all sad and,
Yeah, it would
and,
be
and
sad.
missing each other.
We're missing a lot. And it definitely changes the group dynamic in the show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have Peyton, and that's all. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Yes, you did like a
That's
you're
a trade,
switch.
fair trade.
So, well, okay, I am all for the Nicole and Xavier relationship, romance. I don't know quite what it is, but whatever it is, I'm here for it. I am really curious, what is it about these two characters that they were able to open up to one another only once they didn't know who they were, if that makes sense?
I think it was kind of like, you know that show where they get to know each other behind a wall?
Love
and
is
then-
Blind?
Yeah, Love is Blind. It's kind of like that.
That's
where
good.
You kind of like the person or connect with them for who they are and not how they
Totally.
look. But in this case, it was more so like, wait, no, this person is my best friend's ex and I'm her best friend. And it's just, I think I could say for the both of us,
Yeah.
they wouldn't do that to Maddie.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would do it again. Cause
Yeah, I think my track record's a little dicey. So Xavier probably, appreciates having the friend and the confidant.
Yeah.
But he's got to work on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Nicole knows that his favorite movie was Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Good movie. It's
Tough.
Well, then Rainbow,
Yes.
Claire had a lot of realizations about Maddie last season. So, what is the relationship going to look like now that she's back?
It is amazing having her back because they had a past and then they didn't speak for a long time. So being able to resolve that, and then they became friends without ever speaking because Maddie was a ghost, and so they kind of built this friendship, but she could never see her. So actually having those conversations, I think, was really good, and to rebuild that friendship even stronger now.
Well, lastly, I have to ask you guys, season 1 finale was mind-blowing. Season 2 finale was even more mind-blowing. Season 3 finale, no spoilers, but how do you think people are going to feel after they watch it?
It's the most mind-blowing. It's you're definitely on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Yeah. It's whatever. If a scale of 1 to 10, if season 2 was an 8, this is a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. I actually, just as a fan of the show, can't wait to watch it all
Yeah.
cut together. Yeah.
Hey, I'm excited. That's about my time for today. But thank you guys for chatting with me again. It was so great to talk to
Thank
you.
you so much, you
Pleasure.
too.
Thanks, bye, guys. It's so nice to talk to you guys.
Hi, Rachel. nice to meet you.
you.
Well, to start off, I asked this question to Christian when we did an interview, and he seemed to really like it. So now I feel like I need all of your answers. If you were a ghost and you could move one item in the school to mess with people, what would you move?
Oh, one item in the school to mess with people, like real life people, like real life kids.
Yes, he said that he would lock the door.
Oh,
So,
sure. I feel like I'd take all the Maybe I'd take all the food out of the vending machine. That would suck. You show up to school and there's no food. I mean, they'd be mean, but I'd do that, I guess. Yeah. Maybe I'd do that. Or I'd like plant some of like Yuri's weed on a kid. I would not do that. I don't know. Probably the vending machine one.
I think I would make something big and obvious. Like I would like levitate the. Oh wait, I can't do that. Wait, Quinn,
But if you could.
But if I could, okay, if I could, I would like levitate the vending machine off the ground for several seconds for people to actually see, and then drop it.
That's way
And then
more-
they have to go.
That's way more fun.
Did I just?
Yeah, that's
did that?
that's way more fun.
Okay.
I feel like mine is like people show up and be like, oh, someone didn't
somebody,
refill
like,
the
pranked me, yeah.
Somebody didn't.
I want
refill
people
the
to know
vending
that,
machine.
like, the
yeah,
ghost world
that's
exists.
more fun for the kids.
I like that you guys both chose the vending machine. Like the tag.
yeah.
Really focused.
Levitating an empty vending machine.
Yeah, levitating an empty vending machine.
Now, we got to talk about the season 2 finale because that shocked me even more than the season 1 finale. So I want to know your reactions when you found out that Simon would be joining your spirit circle.
Yeah.
I was excited because, well, as an actor, I was excited. Okay, I'll say that. I was also excited, for the show because now we're switching the dynamics up. I'll say, as an actor, I never really get to see Christian or work with him.
Yeah.
In season 2, because the ghosts are always together, and Christian's such a cool, interesting person, and he's such a great actor that I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna get to like maybe do scenes with him and hang out with him in the green room. And then also story-wise, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was gonna be exciting to just switch up the dynamic of everybody.
Yeah, it totally shook things up, and I think totally it was fun to work with Christian, because the times we did work with him in season 2, he would be there but couldn't look at us because he can't see us.
Yes.
So it was fun to bring someone new into it and see what that dynamic does, and particularly I really enjoyed watching Sarah and Christian's dynamic. I think just Rhonda and Simon, it already sounds funny, so that was fun and they have some funny stuff together.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I gotta ask about Yuri and Charlie's romance because I love them. They were one of my favorite relationships this season 2, but it is school spirit, so I'm always worried about what's gonna happen. Is there any obstacles or any challenges you can tease coming up for them in season 3?
Definitely. I think this is the season that tests their relationship. I think that they sort of exit a honeymoon phase in season 2 and they enter season 3, and some things get brought up from Yuri's past, from Charlie's past, and it becomes an obstacle for both of them, and we sort of find out if they're able to fight through that and remain in this love they have for each other or not. And I think that that's really exciting and realistic to play that kind of love. It's not just lovey-dovey like it was season 2. It's harder, but there's still so much love there. But there are definitely some obstacles this season.
Now, I also love the Quinn and Rhonda relationship. So what is it about Rhonda that you think really brought Quinn's walls down in season 2 and allowed her to open up to her?
I think Quinn is really drawn to Rhonda because Quinn traditionally, when they were alive and in season 2, has a hard time belonging, and because they care so much what other people think, and they just, I think they had trouble, making friends, and there's a lack of confidence in expressing themselves, but they meet Rhonda, who doesn't care what anybody thinks, and Rhonda says whatever she thinks, and she's not afraid of being abrasive or anything like that, and I think that's a really attractive quality that draws Quinn, attracts Quinn to Rhonda, and is maybe a quality that Quinn wants to have for themselves, too. Yeah.
All right, well, that is about my time today, so I will get out of your hair, but it was so great to speak with you guys. Thanks for chatting with me.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off by asking the question that I've been asking all your castmates. So I need to know, if you could move one object in the school, like if you were a spirit, what would you move to mess with people?
Just an object.
One object? I'd move the front door.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't
say like
know,
the
I
whole
don't know, I
space.
don't
I was like, I
know.
would move like the bathroom.
Oh, can we do that?
I guess I would
Yeah,
move.
sure.
I mean, is that cheating?
I would move a Whole Foods inside of it
To mess with it?
so I could eat.
I would move. It'd be something like with one of the teachers. Like I move their class book or something.
What?
Yeah. So then they're like,
Nick, that's
where
a
did I
great
put
plot
it?
line. Where'd my book go? It's good that you're
How am I
not
gonna
ready to go
teach
to
the
the
class?
show.
You could get class canceled then for the students coming
Yeah, I'm
through.
looking out for the kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I need to know what everyone else said.
I know.
Well, Christian said that he would lock the door so that the teacher couldn't get in.
Okay, I did a sort of
Okay,
similar
kind of-
thing to Christian.
And
Okay,
I
Sarah?
messed with the teacher too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, we've got to talk about the season 2 finale. It was obviously a huge shocker. So, what were your reactions when you found out that Simon would be joining you guys in the spirit world?
Honestly, I was like, oh, is this gonna work? It felt for so long like we were two completely different shows and different casts, and their stakes, like Simon's stakes, always feel so high. He has to problem solve so much, and we're kind of like, things are going crazy, but we're like la-di-da, making jokes here and there, and then you see us come together, and there is a clashing a little bit between the
Yeah.
characters, but I think it did.
Yeah.
work.
I think I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, how the heck?
I said, what does this mean?
Yeah.
I said, just when we figured out how to get Maddie back?
Right. Now we have a new problem.
It's almost like they're just throwing shit to make it, they're throwing stuff at us to confuse us, you know? It's
Yeah.
almost like the plot thickens again.
Once again.
It's
These
true.
shows,
I'm
man.
still reeling. There's so
It's
many
crazy.
questions.
Yeah.
Well, then, I mean, this relationship with it's kind of been a one-way relationship for you guys and Simon because
Right.
you can see Simon and what he's up to.
Right.
Simon doesn't know you guys.
Mhm.
So how does that, do they trust him in season 3? Do they already feel confident in who he is?
We trust him.
I think he's helped so much with Maddie.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, all of the other seasons? I think we know that he has Maddie's best interests at heart.
Yeah.
But I think, do we trust his logic? I don't know.
And we also don't have personal relationships with him.
Yeah.
And so he has to earn that a little bit from us. I mean, we're a family.
Yeah, and he's just a lot of energy.
Yeah. He's barreling.
He's just, focused.
Yeah.
He's not used to being in the spirit world. He doesn't know how it works over there.
No.
Well, what is one word? Sorry, this is kind of a hard question, but is there one word that you would each use to describe your character's storyline in season 3?
I'll say that it's you. I can't think of one
I'm
word.
so sorry.
I think
A payoff. I think you can see the payoff of the work she's been doing, but that's a couple
That's
words.
really
But you
good.
understand what it means now.
I would say, I guess, maturing. I think we see Charlie mature a lot this season.
That's beautiful.
He's a man by the end.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He has his bar
Love that
mitzvah at
for
the
Charlie.
end of season 3.
Awesome. Well, that is about my time today, guys. But it was so great to chat with you again, and congrats on season 3.
Thank you so much.
It is so great to chat with you guys.
Likewise.
To start off, I want to ask you what I've been asking everyone because I'm curious what your answers are here. If you could move one object in the school, if you were a spirit, what would you move to mess with people?
Toilets?
I would move
Okay.
toilets. I guess so.
That'd
People would
be-
be very
I-
disturbed if they went into
exactly,
the
they went
stall
in-
and there was nothing
Or
there.
maybe they're really in a rush and then they run in there and then they do their business, but they realize that there's nothing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Yeah, that would
creative.
mess with people.
I was going to say I would move the school bus because I think it would be very exciting to see the school bus flying through the air.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, you see, it's a different interpretation.
Especially
Okay.
since there was a
Yeah.
terrible school bus accident
Yeah,
in
yeah.
previous episodes, but I think that would be fun. The bigger, the better when it comes to telekinesis.
It's true.
Okay, magic school bus. We love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the season 2 finale, really, I think it shocked me more than the season 1 finale. So I'm really curious what your reactions were when you saw that Simon was going to be joining the spirit world.
I mean, I had more and more questions, which is how we feel kind of after every episode, you know. But I have more questions. When we're reading it, and I mean, I had no idea what the answer was. Why was Simon in there, and how did he get in there, and where do we go from here? And so I was probably the actors are just as curious as the viewers as to where we were going to go.
I love a good cliffhanger, and I think the thing about these scripts is you have no idea what is going to happen next, and you have no idea where the writer's fertile imagination is going to take you. And anything can happen because the writing is so fresh and unexpected.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer, your character is new this season. So, what was your first impression of her when you read the script?
When I first read the script, I thought there's something very sinister about Dr. Hunter Price. I mean, I know she was just kind of taking charge and talking to the school auditorium, but I thought there's something about the way that she talks and the way that she talks down to Principal Hartman, that very nice Principal Hartman. I thought she's really not a very nice person. And then, obviously, as the season progressed, I found out like my initial inclination was right, and she's really slightly evil, as well as being greedy, narcissistic, and a bad mother. So these are all the things that are near and dear to my heart. I love to play characters like this.
Love it. Okay, well then, Josh, we got to talk about Mr. Martin too then. He's such a complicated character. I could not figure out how I felt about him in season 1. So I am curious, how has your opinion of Mr. Martin changed as you filmed throughout these years?
Maybe I become increasingly sympathetic to Mr. Martin as we learn more and more about his backstory, and I think I hope that everyone feels the same way. He is really at the center of a lot of questions that viewers will have, and it's really fun to kind of tie everything together that's happened with the answers that we're getting in season 3. And yeah, I think we've really enjoyed people not being sure whether he's a good guy or bad guy or what his motivations are. But everything ties in together really nicely and honors his story and kind of plays into everyone else's dynamics as well.
All right, well, that is about my time today, but thank you guys so much for chatting with me. It was so great to
Thank
talk to you.
Thank
Likewise.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.